situation where we do not have to follow that because we're not in an election cycle. We have the ability to appoint, which is the other section that I read earlier. But in that ability to appoint, I feel as though we should honor the spirit of the governing documents, which is to listen to the membership. And what the membership has told us in an election was that after the two people that were seated on the board, Mr. Mummy and Mrs. Vale, that their next choice was Chris Race. And I will continue to fight for that, and I will continue to vote in that manner going forward to honor what the membership has asked us to do. So do we have any other comments?
My name is Delia. One of the problems that we have had continually in the 30-plus years that I have lived here has been with board members who vote for the things that they feel that are more important than the members. And I really think that what Constance has said is very important, because we elected you and we expected you to follow our wishes and to do the things following the rules that we have also approved of. And I would like to see y'all work this out and go with what we expected when we voted, that you would follow the set rules. It's a very simple thing. And I'd like to see y'all agreeing and voting on Chris, since that is what the membership voted for. You got here by our votes.
You can take it away.
Don't make us sorry we voted for you, because you don't follow and you want to do what you think is better than what the members think. That's a sad situation. And I've seen it for 30 years, that it would come in and very often cause the membership to be very unhappy. So let's look at this and do what's right and agree on putting the members' wishes before what you want to see. That's all I'm asking.
Thank you.
I appreciate your opinion. And now I lost my train of thought. I am not an eloquent speaker. I'm not a lawyer. I wonder if you are, because you do such a good job. But I will point out that we are following our documents. There is nothing that we've brought up on either side that goes against our documents. They allow for both things. And I hate that we're in this place. And I don't feel it should have come to this in the first place. I do feel that we could have come to an agreement outside of this. And you know, I don't know all of the what you can say and what you can't say, and privileged and everything else. But I do know I've asked a lot of questions and not got a lot of answers, or I've been blocked, or there's been no discussion. It's like nope, nope, nope. And that's why I'm here. I don't want this division. I want this board to work together. But when you feel like everything is being blocked, I just want to go with what we had. At this point, I don't know. Do you have anything to say? Okay.
In the spirit of our documents, in the spirit of what Mr. Huey has mentioned, the process we have is this process. We open it up to the entire membership. The entire membership had the same opportunity as Mr. Mummy, Mrs. Reyes, and Ms. Molinar. They submitted their names. Everyone here, I have not heard otherwise, and didn't have the same opportunity. There was a point in time when we got this thing open that I thought we'd have at least 10 applications. Since I know that a lot of you all are very concerned about the board and the ongoings of the board. A lot of people are committed to what they do and their participation. So I figured, wow, we may just get a good stack of applications from the great pool of people we have here at the board. That's why the board is great, and it's going to continue being great. So we're going to take a vote now on Ms. Molinar, and if it doesn't go forward, we're not stuck, folks. We're not stuck. We have options. Mr. Huey mentioned them earlier. We have options. A, we can stay as we are. B, we could have an election. We could have an election. And there's nothing in the documents that's been shown to me or that I have read that we can't even open it up one more time. There's nothing that could prevent us, which would give everyone here an opportunity to attempt to be a board member. So, let's take the vote and we'll go forward. We're not going to get stuck here. This board has done a lot of good things. Getting off subject now, has done a lot of good things. Unfortunately, we have a drought happening right now, but if it had not been for the drought, we wouldn't be doing the stuff we're doing at the pool now. We were all in agreement. There have been a few capital improvements. Mr. Peterson has done a good job overall. Matter of fact, we're going to discuss this situation here in a little while. So, things are not that sour. They are not. And I hope that you all will continue to do your best to participate and be involved. Thank you.
I just have one last thing to say because I remember it. I was voted in, and this is not a pet project for me. What's happening right now. This is not, something I want. This is coming from the people I represent also. There are people, in here it looks to be half and half that are on one side or the other. So, where I stand doesn't mean that I'm just counting who voted me in. It's because I am counting, and I believe that this is the best thing for the membership. But other than that, I don't know what else to say. I'm not eloquent that way, but we're a community, and we're not just a bunch of rules. Yes, we have rules to follow, but we're not just if we're not here for each other, and if we can't make exceptions, because a variance is a variance, that's what the word means, something out of the norm. If we can't be a part of this community and work together, I don't know what else to say. And I'm sorry that we're in this place.
So I'm sitting here and I'm watching what I have been happy to do for the last 2 terms here. And I'm watching it crumble before my eyes. We will not ever come out of this based on the childish acts that you've watched the 4 of us put through the same. You will not look at us the same. You will not watch us as we perform our duties unless we come to a decision tonight. And I want everyone on this board to take a moment and say, if we were past this situation and Mr. Mummy's house sells in 2 weeks after Mr. Potts and his crew have raised the money for the Cardenas family, would you appoint Chris Race? If your answer is yes, then I ask that you please bring a motion back to the table for Chris Race so we can vote and do what the membership has asked us to do, which is listen to their will. Their will was 210 votes for Chris Race. With that, if there are no more comments, we'll move to a vote on Ms. Molinar.
I'd like to say that as a board, we have a legal and ethical obligation to enforce the association's governing documents and abide by all applicable laws. It's very sad that we have brought ourselves to this point over a variance. 'Cause that's what's happened. A variance that has been voted down twice, and we're still haggling about it. What's there to haggle about? It doesn't fit in the neighborhood. And now we can't, because Mr. Mummy resigned, we can't come to terms on a new board member that was selected for 210 votes by the membership. So, that's all I have to say.
And I'm gonna pull out all the stops here. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up some other options as well. Or not other options, but another fact, since we're discussing this variance, and it seems to be the piece that's holding us up. On June 15th, a member filed for a permit from the Architectural Committee to bring in a 2022 trailer at a cost of $70,000. So the adage that no one's going to invest into that community as it is materially false. It has been done. And that person will be very disappointed when they find out that they could have brought in a 15-year-old trailer and they paid $70,000 to buy a new one. Not only that, someone in 2020 paid $70,000 to bring in a 2020 trailer. They will also be very disappointed to understand that the variance that they could have received was for something that could be fixed up over time. That is the issue that is holding up this election right now. And I want everyone to be aware that these two properties have happened. Not only that, the fort has issued many violation notices that have had trailers removed, properties cleaned up, items done that will bring that unit back to what it was.
Travis, isn't there 2 more new ones scheduled to come in? So we're starting to make progress with cleaning the area up.
Yeah, I'm unaware of 2 other ones, but I do know that there also is an investment firm that is purchasing properties in that unit. They're going to be very disappointed that they bought these properties and now they find out that their investment's not being protected by the board because we're allowing variances for properties that are older than what the CCNRs, which they read before they bought the property. So if the issue is this variance that's holding up this election, I'm going to implore you to understand the facts that I just gave you. And please move to abide by the will of the membership and elect Chris Race before we implode our entire 2 years of dedicated and hard work to this fort.
Just for clarification purposes, I came here to vote for a new member. I have not said a word about the variance throughout this entire discussion.
So I don't
I'm
understand.
here for them to get a new member, to get a member on the board. I have not said a word about the variance.
I have tried to skirt around the variance, but the membership was bringing it up, and you very specifically told me to not make it a part of the discussion, which I tried to do. But now, I guess,
We're
all
here.
bets are off.
We're here. I mean, we gotta do something or we're gonna implode. So please,
That's a bit dramatic.
is it?
No,
Yeah.
no.
I don't think so.
No.
This is serious business.
All we gotta have is 20%, right?
Yep.
Go to member out.
Right.
Correct. We'll spend our money on that.
Dale Chavez again. Hey guys, Dale Chavez again. I'd like to thank all of y'all, because I see y'all are representing one side, and I see y'all representing another side. And I don't think what y'all are doing is wrong, and I don't think what y'all think y'all are doing is wrong, and I don't think what y'all think y'all are doing is wrong. But the fact that it's deadlocked like this, I think we should do another election because there's a third person. You know, when the last vote, there was 3 people that ran, and 2 of them got voted in. The fact that there's an option, I actually believe that you may vote with them, man. You may vote on that side. And I feel that Mr. Mummy would probably vote with you guys. And I feel like that's what's going on here. But there's a third person that we don't know nothing about, could go either way. And you know, it's a perfectly reasonable thing to have an election on that. I know it's expensive, or y'all could stay together and this could be settled out down the road in 4 or 6 months, whatever y'all said it was.
Mr. Chavez, just for clarification for the people that weren't here at the last meeting, I voted for the variance. Now I'm talking about the variance. I voted for the variance.
Okay.
There's 3 people here that didn't vote for the variance.
Okay.
And Mr. Mummy voted the variance. So I just want to get that clear. There was 2 votes for the variance and 3 against. So I don't know, if this thing is taken off with the variance, so be it.
Well, with this variance, now, did y'all know about it, or was it something that was just sprung on y'all?
No.
So y'all knew it was coming up in the agenda?
No.
Yes, we knew about it, and we've been working on it for 2 months. 2 months?
No. So April was the first time it came up. It had already been to architectural prior to that. And so it's been
Okay, it's been.
4 to 5 months that this has been in front of us.
Right. Okay. And yes, I voted against the variance. And, you know, for better, for ill, whatever you think of me, immediately after that vote, I started second guessing myself. And then, you know, I went through everything, all of our discussions, and came to the conclusion that I made a mistake. And I'll say that right here, in front of everybody. I made a mistake. All I was at, and I have new information on this. I mean, we're all discussing Unit 15, and are there Unit 15 people in here? We're all talking about whether we should have a variance or not a variance, and nobody's asked the people in 15, which somebody else brought up. You know, we are requiring somebody to bring in a $70,000 to $100,000 home into a unit, and in this unit, where the house next to it is valued at $30,000, the house on the other side is valued at $8,000. That's insane. I mean, we have a fiduciary responsibility to this board, absolutely. And part of that responsibility is to find a way forward to incrementally bring Unit 15 back to the state it was. In 1971, or whenever it was that they said your trailer can't be more than 5 years old, well, that's 40 years ago. Now all these trailers in here, there's a 1992, 1979. There's all these older houses. This house would bring it up. And what are you going to do to the taxes of the people who are in there that have a lower tax, and then you bring in an investment company? How much are their taxes going to go up? We are a multi-level, income level community. We have everything from the Oaks to Unit 3. And we have to look at all of that. And to revisit this and to take one more look, I do not think is unreasonable, considering I didn't even think about this when I made my decision. And it was never brought up by anybody else, other than, well, it'll be newer than what's in there.
What is it you're holding up?
It's just, I mean, I can pass it out to you. It just talks about what is in and around the house that they want to put in there. That they are willing to reskirt, or not reskirt, because you have to skirt anyway, to reside, to new roof, with the understanding that there'll be a lien put on them they haven't had it done in a year. They're willing to do whatever it takes. I didn't want to have this discussion here. I wanted it to be an agenda item and to have Unit 15 involved, but that didn't happen. And that's where we're kind of stuck. Because it's obvious to tell. 2 people don't want, I want to reconsider that motion, and here we are. But I don't want to tear apart this community and this board for that. So if I have to, we'll look at something else then. I'm not going to dig in my heels to spite everybody.
Well, you're not, no. You are representing half the fort, and your other guys are representing the other half. We completely understand. I'm grateful for what y'all are doing. So thank you.
represents
But
more than half.
we do need probably a 5th member to resolve these issues. And somebody, maybe another election. I'm just saying that way everybody's got to say. But thank you.
I would like to move that we take a 5-minute break.
Second.
We have voted on all right.
Oh.
You can bring it, well, we need to vote on all.
Okay.
So,
Can I speak before you do it? Well, Bill Herman, former board member, elected and appointed, either way, and also voted off. Okay. So, the will of the people spoke, okay? Two things. One, you people here are acting emotionally. Fort Clark Springs Association is a business. And in order for the business to survive and make money, it has to follow the rules. You may not like the rules. And if you don't like the rules, change them. Right? Change the rules. Now, I know that the architect committee CC&Rs are a disaster. They've been there since the unit started. Never been upgraded, never changed. Members who have the right to change the CC&Rs in their unit never got together and said, hey, we don't like this. They just let things slide. So I think now it's up to the board to change the CC&Rs to bring them up to the 21st century. And until then, you have to live with what you got, because that's the rule. But that's, you know, and if the, who brought up the variance? The architect committee?
What do you mean brought up?
Well, who wanted the variance?
Well, the architecture can't do a variance.
Who wanted the variance?
Remember?
He wanted the bed, remember, right?
Mhm.
You could not give him the variance, because the rules say it has to come from the board.
No, the.
he's saying the architectural committee couldn't give
Yeah,
the
okay,
variance.
architectural. I'm not on
Right,
that.
right. So you presented it to the board. It is up to the board,
The architectural committee presented it, not me.
that's what I'm saying, you meaning the architect.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Sorry.
Presented it to the board,
Mhm.
because you cannot make that decision, the architect committee. The board makes the decision. The board made a decision. The only thing that could happen is the board, the member who lost the decision could appeal.
That's not the only thing. I mean,
He
if you
did
look at
appeal.
Robert, he did appeal, and Robert's Rule of Orders allows for a reconsideration.
Okay, and it was denied again.
No, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, I thought you said it was
Reconsideration.
It was denied first in April by a unanimous vote of the board, and then it was reconsidered and tabled after that. And then this last meeting, so in May, it was tabled and reconsidered by the board, and then in June, it was defeated by a measure of 3-2,
So it lost
twice.
twice. So what's the problem?
It's over, why are we talking about it?
It's over.
Yeah.
You're done.
Why are we talking about this?
They can't run it again.
It's
against the law.
been decided, the board decided it.
Yeah, it is.
And
Anyway.
the board can reconsider.
We absolutely can reconsider at the next meeting with an agenda item. That's
It's an
reasonable.
agenda item.
And there's the rub with 2-2.
So, thank you, Mr. Herman. If you have anything else, please continue.
No, I just want you to understand that this is a business. This is not a country club. And you have to operate like a business. Otherwise, we're gonna get in the same position we were before Alan got here, and you know where we were.
So we have, okay, well, we can take a break. Well, then ask for a reason.
Please.
So we have a motion on the floor to appoint Ms. Molinar to the vacant spot on the board of directors. So all in favor? All opposed? Motion does not carry. The floor is open.
I make a motion to recess for 5 minutes.
A second.
So we have a motion on the floor to recess. All in favor? All opposed?
Hurry, Lisa.
We'll take a 5-minute recess at 7:22.
I'm going.